Blackwood Fox, Bob and Angel. Pontiac, Pine Tom. What the heck's going on? Using my rap pedal for the first time in ages. Hey man, yeah, hope everyone's well. Blacktooth Fox, I want to apologise to you. I noticed last night that you've been leaving comments on my videos and I never saw them. So what my new system is going to be, I'm just going to have to basically every morning, I'm just going to have to look at the bit in my YouTube page which says, here's the comments that we didn't bother showing you. There's like a wee section kind of down in the page away at the middle. Normally you get the wee notification things. They don't show up. So sorry if I've been ignoring anyone. I've not been ignoring you, unless you're saying something nasty, but no one on here ever does. No, I always get comments about, oh God, can you not tune a guitar? And oh God, you're crap. But anyway, yeah. So yes, this is Lena. This is a 1986, I think. Is it 86? 86 Ibanez Roadstar 2, which I thought was a Roadster. I think there might be a Roadster with an E in it as well, kind of in the middle, but this is a star. This is an RG 530, which is the first Ibanez RG, because RG actually stands for Roadstar Guitar. It's just in 1987, Steve Vai came out with this gem, so all RGs became, well, that's a Yamaha, but you know what an RG is now, shape-wise. This was kind of in the middle somewhere. So I'm also playing in B again there, because this is a 24 fret guitar. I have very few 24 fret guitars. But it's an absolute stunner. I mean, this finish is called Black Pearl. I don't know if you can see, but you can actually see it's like a what do you call it, top of veneer or a tiger stripy mapley type thing or something like that, and below the white pearl finish. I have seen a couple of these, not this color though. There's a red, it's a brown one, which is, you know, the white on the outside and brown in the middle, which isn't like as nice as this. Yes, the Roadster. Well, this is an Ibanez. So it's like, what's it to say? It was below it? The ultimate expression of craftsmanship. Yeah. So this is kind of, someone was asking me actually the other day. I can't remember who it was. Oh, it does have a dodgy input jack on it. It's got one of those stupid barrel ones that I hate. But I'll dig this out. It's yeah. So this is the last of the roadstar shaped Ibanez, and then after this they went to the the headstock, which they got from the, oh god, I've forgotten now. Was it the Iceman or whatever the Iceman was called before it was an Iceman shaped headstock, or was it the Destroyer? One of those two early on had what we now class as the normal Ibanez headstock, and and then in 1987 these then had the normal Ibanez headstock. This has got this sort of bolty one, and yeah, someone mentioned a Blazer there, like a Blazer. So kind of, I'm kind of tempted to get some of the ones in the middle. So when the Blazer came out, which is sort of this, it's their Strat type thing. Obviously, I painted it, much more Stratty. This has got 3 single coils, and it's much more of a Strat. Whereas this, they kind of started modifying them a little bit, and they kind of gradually went from that to this. That's 1981, but it's in the 82 catalogue. So it's a 1982 model. So between 82 and 86, they kind of went just gradually bit by bit from that into this. The year before this, I think, you got not this colour, but you got this guitar, but it had a Pro rocker trem. This is the first Ibanez that had a licensed Floyd Rose. Well, the first year that Ibanez had a Floyd Rose, which involves this, the nut clamp, which we all know now. Anything before that, they had their own bridge design, and they weren't allowed to use the nut and clamp at the same time. So the clamp, they've always got a nut and then a clamp somewhere up here. I don't see a guitar I've got there. It's got that. Rose doesn't know. The Roadster I thought was a bass. That might be true. That maybe the Roadster. I don't know. I did have a Blazer bass at one point. I didn't have any. At the time I was skinny, I had to sell it. So like the new one looks like a clog. This one, sort of. I don't know. To me, you're looking at the body. I mean, how do you feel? As soon as I saw this, I was just like, oh my god, I have to have that. I saw it on eBay, and this is a good while ago actually. And there was a girl who was selling it, and she had like black and white wallpaper like behind it, and it just looked amazing. It actually looks quite white in the video just now, but really it's cream. It used to be white. Blazer SB70 has a different shape. Blazers kind of stopped in 82 and were replaced with the Roadster. So I'd imagine they modified it a little bit. I haven't actually started drinking yet. So I don't actually have a full bottle this week. So as not to throw off the bucky meter or how pissed I am because I haven't had anything to drink, I'm going to drink this Magnum first, which I reckon is probably about the amount that's missing from this bottle. So I'm just going to tan this really rather sharp and look forward to this for a couple of days. Yeah, no, but I mean, I think I have actually seen, I've got a Destroyer X series, it's called, which has got the headstock you're talking about. It's 85, it's actually before this. But I've seen a Destroyer that had this finish on it, like the star-shaped one, and it looked absolutely stunning, and it was 1,800 quid. It's like, oh. So, no, basically. But I mean, it looked... this finish, I don't know why folk don't like it. It does, as someone mentioned there, look like the Fender Antigua a bit. Is it Antigua or something like that? It's more of a sort of chocolatey brown. But I really like them. I think that's a fantastic looking. Is it a Dual Sonic? So I think they did them in the 50s or something like that. Cough syrupy. 90s Blazer, right? The reissued Blazers. Yes, I'm talking about. So that's like a reissue. I don't know. Are they Japanese? They might be. Yeah, photo negative burst. Could say that. This is available in. There's a few different ones. This is actually Gary Moore in the song Out in the Streets or Out in the Fields. I can't remember which one it is, but I think in the song he actually does say Out in the Fields and Out in the Streets. He recorded the solo on one of these because I can't be able to find it since, but I've seen an interview with him. I think it was just like a magazine article rather than an actual talking one where he was talking about it, and he's like, yes, I did it on the new Ibanez, blah, blah, blah. He liked it because it had a Floyd Rose 24 frets, and someone asked him what pickups it was, and he said All the pickups are just the stock ones. They're excellent. They kind of look like EMGs, but they're not active. And it's like, that's what's in this. They do have Ibanez written on them. I think they're called IBZ something. They used to say Ibanez on, but it's kind of worn off. And that's what he used for the solo and out in the field. He's actually playing it in the video for it as well, but he's playing about 8 guitars in that video. He's playing this one all black, and he's playing the one he had the year before, which is the 22 fret one, which is obviously not, it's basically the same, but it's not quite as deeply cut away. It's slightly different round about here. But it's got the Pro Rocker trem on it. That's a Roadster rather than an RS. I think it's an RS 530, not an RG 530. Hey, Craig. This is going down well. This wee bottle's not going to last long before I got into the bucky, and that bucky's going to be a bit minging because it's kind of a combination bottle from about the last 3 weeks. So I gave it a shake, and then this will take the edge off it though. But yeah, a BL 850 must be quite high up because I know they go by. Normally the Ibanez are quite good with their numbers, so it's basically the higher the number, the better it is. That Blazer's a 4. I can't remember. It doesn't say on it. This one very handily has a wee sticker in the back of the head, so it's saying 530. So the famous RG is the RG 550, which is the one that I think it's the one that came out at the same time as a Gem for normal people, rather than people who can afford, the custom Steve Vai one. They're always neon colours and stuff like that look amazing. So this is kind of the precursor to that. It's even got the CD strap buttons. I don't know if I'll be able to get the strap off actually. No, but it's like, see, the strap button's kind of that cool triangular shape, which is, it's kind of like, you don't need strap locks if you've got that. Little things about it. The things I don't like is that input jack. I kind of don't want to change it because it makes the guitar not all original. Hey, Craig, do Aria still make guitars? They do, yes, most definitely. My pal Wayne is actually an Aria dealer. He's got a wee shop down in Colville, and he basically joined it, and he kind of occasionally gets, sort of factory seconds and things like that. I mean, it's not like a real guitar shop. I think he's only open on a Saturday, and I think a Wednesday afternoon and a Saturday. And so I've seen the last year's Aria catalogue, and they still make the P1500 or the P1000, the masterpiece guitar, which is kind of like, I've got one that's called the Prototype series, and it's sort of like somewhere between, basically it's like a PRS, I suppose, made by the guy's, his English version of his name's H. Noble. He invented it as a head designer at Aria. And it's got like a mad neck join, and it's meant to be the best of ever, coil splits and fantastic. And they still make it, but and they still make it in Japan, and it's something like $4,500 now. So it just goes to show, in relative terms, what one of these guitars is worth. I mean, you can pick up, I see the P1500, and you go up, it's $1,000. That's quite a lot, but the equivalent, they still make it basically exactly the same, and it's $4,500. And I think that might even have been dealer price rather than RRP. So you don't see very many of them. So it really goes to show when you start looking at some of these guitars, like the Arias and stuff like that, the equivalent of that new, if you were to build it to exactly the same spec, you're up in the thousands really quickly, and you can pick up a couple £100. Hold on, we're going to be a bit ahead there. I'm drinking too much and getting too excited. I could back to STG. There's also the 80s Aria Pro 2 Road Warrior. I think the Road Warrior is still Japanese. That's very much this era. So it's like 85, 86, the last of the Matsumoto built ones, I think. There's a Night Warrior as well. I'm not sure. Basically, if it's got the neck plate on it will say accurate bolt-on system, and then below the serial number it will say made in Japan, if it's a made in Japan one. If it doesn't say made in Japan and it's not a made in Japan one, and it's still good, it's basically the equivalent of now what you're talking about. It's Korean, so it's like kind of like your £600, £700, £800 Korean guitar is what the Korean ones are like, whereas the Japanese ones are better.